my sewing space. I am Bobo Bun, Lisa, a vintage inspired dressmaker and dressmaking teacher. And I love to share all of my sewing tips, my knitting, my creativity with you here on my channel. I've got a lot of projects on at the moment. I'm making lots of mock-ups for Patreon so that my patrons can make them. So I'm working on those. I've got swimwear bugging my head. I need to make some swimwear. And I've got some more vintage finds. So it's going to be a lovely dip in to what's happening in my sewing life. Right now, for a few years now, I have thought I really need to make a swimming costume. I've got a few bikinis that I don't particularly like, but I wear them because then you haven't got the problem of the length in the body. Where I wear a swimming costume, I kind of go like that because I'm 6'1", and obviously it concertinas me because they're probably designed for about someone of 5'5", so they're not long enough, and then they're really unflattering because obviously they flatten and push your boobs down, and yeah, you just feel pretty grim in them. And it's bad enough kind of stripping off to get down to your underwear in public, let alone in something that looks really unflattering. Now, if you've been watching me and following me for a while, you'll know that I really love late 40s, 50s style. That's my favourite era to sew, although I do love the sort of 20s and the 30s and the 40s, you know, the sort of early to mid 40s. But for the swimming costume, I wanted to create something that had got that real va-va-voom, sexy 1950s silhouette. So I went looking around for patterns, and I have got the Esther pattern by Gertie from when I was on her Patreon. And I'll show you some photos now. I don't like all of them. The ones that are just like big bloomery, they remind me of like toddlers' nappy pants, you know, that you'd put under a dress to cover a bulky nappy. Obviously, some people like them, they're just not my taste. But this one I really like. I was put off by doing it as my first swimsuit because it's got all the boning inside. I don't mind doing boning, I have done it, but I just thought for a first one where I'm trying out making a swimming costume, getting the sizing right, I really didn't want to be spending all this time faffing with all those details, and it's summer now and I want to be able to wear it, so that will be for a future play around. Further searching, I found two that I really liked that had got that 50s appeal that I was after. First I came across was the Bombshell by Closet Core Patterns. I absolutely love it. It's got this ruching, it's sort of like a skirt detail, you know, with the swimming pants underneath. I will put up an image because I love the back image. I think it's so flattering on the bum. This version is with a halter neck, and then you can do, I'll go to the line drawings. I don't know if there's another picture on the back there, no. The line drawings, can you see, you can have like a bra cup version and the straps come in further. I'm in two minds, you can see all the ruching on here as well. And you could do it as separate bottoms and this, make it into a bikini top, or wear it with another bikini top. So I might do that as well in the future. I'm in two minds whether to do the halter strap one because I know I've got to lengthen it. I looked on the Fold Line blog site and they said that they made a mock-up for a friend who's 5'10" and they had to put 3 inches in. And then they talked about the different bits because obviously the ruching, it's really hard to measure it out. And I actually don't want to make a toile, which is a bit of a shock alert, as I teach fitting and I really stress the need to toile, but I just don't want a toile. I want to try and wing this one a bit. If I'm doing the one with the bodice cups, I need to do a toile. So I'm thinking I'll do the halter neck one just to try the whole suit out, even though I don't feel halter necks really suit me. They're not my go-to. Normally a halter neck sort of drags me down a bit. I've got a very long neck. My bust is low. I don't know, it just elongates me in a way I don't like. But I'm going to try it, see how that works. So that's the one, even though I feel really drawn to this one. I want to get in there and have a go. The other pattern I came across, which I absolutely loved, was this McCall's, what's the number? 7168. McCall's, you can just see it there. 7168. I rather like this little frilled bandeau top, but for my first one, not with the flounce, the skirt detail, but I'd want to use that bra top and let you put the band there around, so I'd want that bra top. But if I come closer, can you see they're ruched pants, which actually could use the Bombshell ones, but I love these ruche pants with it. So that's my other one, to have a bikini. And there's so many options with this, you know, it's a really mix and matchy set. I got that for £7.50 rather than full price because I subscribe to So Direct, a recent find of mine which I've made really good savings on. So a little bit advertising, not paid for advertising, me just telling you something I like. So once I'd selected my patterns, it was then the minefield of trying to find swimwear fabric. Now I found out that good swimwear fabric is quite expensive. It's about £23 a metre, so you don't want to mess this stuff up. I found some black gingham swimwear fabric and a sort of sprig print one that's quite Liberty-ish, but that shop's shut till the end of the month, I think beginning of July. So that's held off that temptation of getting it. But yeah, can't stop thinking about both of those swimwear fabrics. There's somewhere I found called Fabriques. They've got some quite reasonably priced swimwear fabric and, you know, not too bad a selection. You can find sort of plain colours quite easily, but finding prints is quite tricky. And then you've got to have so much spandex in it. It's got to have at least 50% stretch. You can't use just your normal jersey for that because you need the spandex and the stretch. And I think there was something else. You know, you really need to do your reading. Then you need swimwear lining as well to reinforce and hold the structure of your garment or your swimming costume or bikini. And then you've got to think about the fact that they do need to be swimwear because they've got to go into chlorine or salt water, and you don't want them to just give over lots of wear, and then your beautifully made suit, hopefully it will be a beautifully made suit, will be no good. So that's the thing with the swimwear fabrics. You need to really do your research, and you need elastic, but it's a rubberized elastic, again, that won't, you know, weather disintegrate in seawater or chlorine. And that's got to be sewn on the legs and sort of around the tops and different places. So I had to get my swimwear rubberized elastic too, so, and then I had to get a bikini back clip. So there's all sorts of things you have to consider. So for my bombshell, again, I shall show you, and it's quite ironic because I've gone for pretty much the same kind of green. It wasn't a conscious choice. I just looked at the colours on Fabric Godmother for swimwear fabric, and I just loved this emerald green. It's me, I just love green. I have green eyes, so I love the emerald green. So that's the swimwear fabric I have got to play with. It's all washed and ready to go. I was planning on Saturday afternoon to start, but I've got my pattern printed and made up, but I never got time to actually start on the swimming costume. And then for the McCall's bikini, this won't last, of course, but I got some cheap with a bit of spandex in it, polka dot jersey, and it's quite see-through, but once it's got the black swimwear lining in it, it will make it opaque. So I'm going to play with that for the bikini. So they're my fabrics, and that's my plans and the research I did for it all. Then yesterday, my youngest daughter and I, we had a day off together, and we had a lunch overlooking the sea in the most beautiful meadow of Ox Eye Daisies. I will show you, I think I showed you at the beginning, just a little video of it, but I will show you another photo in there. It's a place called Wiveton Cafe at Wiveton Hall. If you search up for Normal for Norfolk on, I don't know, just search it on Google, I can't remember what channel it was on, and it's absolutely brilliant, and it's set not far from us. So yeah, that's really good. And then when I was leaving, when we were leaving, I saw this very glamorous lady pulling in to Wiveton, and I thought, gosh, she looks good. And then I realised it was my friend Alex, who I modelled with many years ago. And yeah, she's a redhead and very, very stylish, very glam lady. And then I had a message from her saying that we were wondering who, you know, what your lipstick was, and the lady beside her, she'd sort of done her Instagram tag, and I looked at her and she was like a really edgy, stylish model in the 80s. I mean, very beautiful lady still now. So yeah, so two glamour pussies that we could have had lunch with as well, but it was lovely to see them. Anyway, so once we left there for our lunch, we went along the coast road, the salt marshes, and then we headed inland through the woods. because I wanted to go to the Georgian town of Holt. I just needed some fruit and various things. And the vintage shop that I have always wanted to go into, I think every other year I manage to get into it, is always closed when I go there. That's random opening days. It's jam-packed with delights, from gardening tools to sewing to everything. So I managed to get in there. The lady in there is quite grumpy and not very welcoming. So you do go in there because you love the things, not because you kind of feel welcomed and ushered into the place, which is a bit sad, but never mind. I found a 1944 copy of Vogue that was absolutely gorgeous, but I just couldn't justify it. It was £58, which I could see the value in it, but I just could not justify spending that. That's a week's food shopping money, so I didn't get that. There was also a 40s Vanity Fair as well, so they were just beautiful to look at. But I did find this 1935, June 1935 Needlewoman. And there's some absolutely amazing knitting patterns in here. And then something else I absolutely loved on the back. See this? And I don't know if I zoom in, if you can see. Can you see that? I'll put it in my face and it'll blur it. That's Elsa Schiaparelli's or Schiaparelli's signature, because it says, endorsed by Madame Schiaparelli, the world famous designer. I am using your new knitting and crochet cotton anchored tricoton with great success in my London collection. For summer wear, it has distinct advantages, being practically unshrinkable, while the colours are lovely and fast. It also has the added advantage of working easily. The results are very pleasing. Elsa Schiaparelli. So that was on the back. So I'm actually thrilled to find that. And then the magazine that's pertinent to what we're talking about with swimwear is this 1954 edition of Woman's Own, hugging a little kitten. Just a beautiful advert. All sorts of things in here that are fabulous, like how to make summer sauces and whatnot. Shoe adverts. I have got some shoes like the ones at the top from a Rocket Original. There's the beautiful dresses in the middle. The one with the yellow skirt's one. I do make that skirt quite a bit. Oh gosh, I've got to show you these. Easy on the eye, ease on the purse. It's how to adapt your sunglasses to suit your gayest summer dress. Look at these, aren't they marvellous? Now, which one is that one? It makes me laugh. This is yellow felt you can cut out and stick on the front of your sunglasses. Aren't they marvellous? Or just stick various things on your sunglasses. I don't think I will be doing that. They do look a bit naff, but there we go. Now, this is what I was looking for. Diana Day discusses the bare essentials. These are 10 points to watch when you wear a swimsuit if you want to look your loveliest from every angle. So I thought that was rather apt, and the design of the skirt, like the bombshell, you can see how it comes over, because we really don't want to see the crotch area, the lady area. That's got to be private, but we would like to see her bottom. That's why I want the figure hugging. We want to see the boobs and her waist, but oh goodness no. You know, ladies do not have bits, so we have to hide those. So hence, they're rather demure. Very pre-Bridget Bardot in her little skimpy bikini, looking absolutely hot trot. Now, it tells you here that the beach is a wonderful, wonderful place for making friends. It's a place too where you can disillusion the friends you do have more quickly than most. You can cover a lot of figure faults in a full-skirted frock, but you in a clinging one piece can present quite a different picture. The sun, you know, acts just like a searchlight. Oh, goodness me. And you've got to get rid of all the hairy tufts and everything. It says you must bath, not have a dingy neck, lovely shoulders, keep your armpit free of hair, rid yourself of fatty pads on your body. Oh, bulging waistlines and feet. Yeah, so it's not there to make most of us feel really gorgeous, but it did rather remind me, you know, of those silly things you see that says, you know, is your body beach ready yet? Or, you know, all of those things. I mean, just things to make people feel even worse. And if your body dysmorphia to start with, then there's no way you're going to get out on the beach and enjoy the gorgeous feel of the sun on your skin and going into the water. None of it helps, but obviously they weren't helping even more back in the 50s. So that's me with swimsuit. Something else that I found that I just wanted to quickly share with you, the Singer Sewing book. Whoops, this is from the same year as the Woman's Own, 1954. It was if I bring it over this way, Enfield Library, and then it was released for sale. But it's absolutely amazing. I've got so many sewing books from the 30s onwards. Tell you how to fit your dress and press as you sew, which is hugely important. Some lovely interior shots, and there's home stuff that you can do, home sewing and sewing for children, and machine smocking. There's all sorts of ideas in here, and decorative finishes, how to use lace. It covers a lot of details. That's why I adore having these vintage sewing books. I mean, one, they're beautiful to look at, but they cover techniques that modern patterns and modern books just don't seem to go over. So whenever you find something like this, then make sure to go and get it. Done for today. All things swimsuit, really. I've got so many other things I want to tell you about, but we don't have the time to cover all of that, do we? So I will share my progress with the swimming costume, as I've been asked to do so on Instagram also, because I've had feedback that lots of people have made the bombshell and they've all said it's super, super flattering on the figures. So I've had really good feedback about it, but of course other people want to make these things, so it's really good to share what your progress is, isn't it? So I will keep you updated. Not sure yet if I will be modelling it. Depends what it looks like on, doesn't it? But obviously we'll be covering up all my private bits and bobs, won't we? Thank goodness for that. Anyway, thank you for joining me today. It's been lovely as always having you here. If you don't already, then please subscribe and share. Talk about my channel. It's always good to let other people know I'm here. And comment. I love to chat with you, so I get back to you as soon as I can. Love to know your thoughts and feelings. And yeah, just like the video. It's just good feedback for me filming this to chat with you. So until next time, thank you so much, and I shall see you very soon. Bye bye.